Hey, I had the opportunity to sit down with Malcolm a couple days ago, and as you watch this, I hope you enjoy the conversation. More than that, I hope you take from it maybe some little items that you can apply to your own experience. You know, Malcolm's coming out of the gate, he's brand new, and just had some questions, and I just tried to share with him what I would have done in his situation. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, man? Nice to meet you, Martin Lovelace.
Malcolm Landenberger, nice to meet you.
So, what's the scoop?
Okay.
You hit me up.
I did.
So, what's up?
I moved down here from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching your YouTube videos since you guys been putting them out.
Yeah.
And I told myself when I passed my licensing exam, I was going to contact you just to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah.
Get some advice. So I passed last Monday.
Awesome.
And so now I'm here to get some advice.
Yeah.
So I have a list of things. I'm gonna look down at my phone.
Sure.
What would you recommend for someone new starting into real estate?
Number one is you got to get around people that are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do what I did,
Okay.
which was sit in front of my desk and try to figure it out by myself.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get around people, whether it's a mentor relationship, whether it's joining a team, whether it's like a really training heavy office.
Okay.
You've got to get around people that are doing it because it's the only way to learn it. As you know from school now,
Right. Yeah.
they don't teach you jack about doing it. They just teach you how not to get sued, and that's
Right.
about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Memorize some dates, right?
Mhm.
Memorize some law. That's about it. So really starting out, what I wish I would have done immediately, what I ended up doing was I joined a little team.
Okay.
And that version works, or the mentor relationship can work, or a really training intensive office
Yep.
where you can build some relationships.
Mhm. And when you say team, you mean like outside, like you got the brokerage,
Right.
And so you join the brokerage, and then
Mhm.
outside of that, you want to join a team.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like, I have a small team myself,
Mhm.
and it's me, a couple admin staff, 2 sales agents, and then I've got a development partner that's
Okay.
also an agent. And so we just work together.
Right.
I focus on the business that I do,
Mhm.
and then they support that. So
Right.
whether it's transactional or whether it's the agents, like I'll get sign calls on my listings. I generally don't go and call those people back. I usually let my team do
You
it.
let your team take care of that.
Because it's an
stuff.
opportunity for them to build a relationship or pick up a client or maybe sell that property.
Right.
Sell them something else.
How would you seek out a team?
So it's pretty easy to find them.
Okay.
If you just go online and just start going through like top brokers,
Mhm.
and you can do it through a variety of ways.
Okay.
You can do it by transactions. You can just Google people. You know,
Right.
Google real estate Nashville.
That's how I found you.
You just gotta go in and kind of, and most of the time they'll call themselves that, right?
Mhm.
Such and such team,
Right.
such and such group,
Mhm.
you know, such and such, you know, collaborative effort in some capacity. You'll recognize the name.
Okay.
And then just hit them up and go, hey, I just got my license and I'm hungry and I'm ready to work.
Right.
And are you adding anyone to the team right now?
Okay.
And if they say no, then the next question is, okay, who else would you recommend I contact?
Okay.
Because agents know agents,
Mhm.
teams know teams,
Sure.
and so it's going to come down to where you want to be
Okay.
and what feels like the right fit. And don't just jump on the first thing.
Okay.
But yeah, just go through. You know, I tell you what you could do is you could get Real Producers Magazine, which is like a local publication,
Okay.
and it's at most brokerages. And in the back, it's got a list of like
Teams.
top salespeople,
Okay.
and you just start hitting them up.
Calling those.
That's the great thing about social media; it's easy to get to people,
It
right?
is very easy to get to people.
And
now.
so I just start hitting them up and just see how the conversation goes and how the relationship, you know, feels at the very beginning,
Okay.
and see where you think you fit, and then go a little deeper. But don't join the first thing. But I think definitely try to link up with people that'll give you opportunity, because as a new agent, it's hard to convince people to trust you to do deals.
Mhm.
But if you're within the scope of a team and they go, like somebody goes, hey, Martin, can you show me this house today? No, but I got my bro Malcolm is going to come down and do it, right?
Mhm. Right. Awesome.
That's how it works. And then they don't ask. They're just like,
Right.
oh, Martin loves this guy. He must be good. Yeah,
Right.
it's all good. Yeah.
Awesome. What got you into real estate?
Desperation,
Desperation?
money.
Money? All right. How old were you when you started?
Let's see. Well, I was about 37.
37?
36. Yeah, it was 2011
Okay.
when I did just what you did. I did the crash course, blast
Yeah, I
through
did all-
glass,
yeah,
go
that's
fast.
exactly what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2011. So, like, I really officially started in January of 2012
Okay.
and didn't do anything for 6 months.
That was because you were sitting at the computer
I was just trying to
figure
figure
out
it
yourself.
out.
Okay.
Went on a few appointments.
Right.
You know, I did the normal stuff where you're trying to convince people you know. To,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're running ads. You know, you just do whatever, and
Right.
it's like not really shaking out. But I started because I'd burned out of another industry,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew I didn't want to do that anymore. And I was like, I kind of feel like some kind of sales is what I want to do.
Right.
And one of the conversations I had was with my father-in-law, who was in another state, who had done some development, had been a broker. And I was like, hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? Can I pull this off? You know me.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I think you should go for it. So it was really just, I'm going to give this a shot. But I was in desperation mode, bro.
Right.
I was almost out of money.
Mm-hmm.
I had a kid on the way, our first kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I was like, I had all the pressure, right?
Okay. Yep.
First baby coming in August, and I was just like, man,
You need to
what
make
am I
some
going to
money.
do? I've got to make this work. And at the beginning, it was rough, and it was like, it was not the way to do it, right?
Right.
Most people, if you come in, you got a little money, you got a little cushion,
Mhm.
you can work your network, you can
Right.
train, you get the. I really did not have that. So from minute one, it was just like, I have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Were you in all in, no other job at that time?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I was trying to still do a little side consulting with my prior industry, but
Mhm.
it's hard to do that,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would get a little side gig, and then I'd try to make that money last, and
Right.
it's difficult. But what I learned at the very beginning was, look, you gotta be hungry, you gotta chase it, but you gotta pretend like you don't need it.
Right.
Because nobody wants to feel like you're trying to sell them a house because you need money.
Because you need money. Right.
Nobody wants to
This
feel
gives a
like
weird
that,
vibe
right?
off,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's the other side of it. Is like, yeah, I did it because I had no other choice. I went all in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really like burn the ships, no backup plan. So sometimes that's not the best way to start.
Right.
But at the same time, if you've got nothing to fall back on, I think sometimes people get their license, they get another gig,
Right.
they're comfortable. Maybe I'll sell some homes, maybe I won't.
Right.
And then they don't, right?
Yep.
Because they don't have to.
I understand that.
That's why a lot of the industry sells 1 or 2 houses a year, is because they'll do a friend's deal, they'll do their own deal. They're not really being a full-time broker.
Right.
But sometimes if you got that cushion, you got a base, but you're serious, it can make it a lot
It can-
easier
it can help
to
you out a
ramp
lot.
up. Exactly.
Okay. Awesome. How do you organize your time?
That's a tough one.
Do you
Because
do it like the day before?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have a running like to-do list, and I
Okay.
prioritize appointments that are on the books for the next day,
Mhm.
and then what I need to do before I leave for those appointments. I have a hard time doing office-related work while
Okay.
I'm out and about, so I get up very early and try to do all my office work in the morning,
Okay.
and then once I roll out, it's usually just bang, 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 bang. And if you get those brief breaks between clients or between meetings or whatever, I'm usually calling people.
Right.
So I have to just prioritize desk time early in the morning or late at night,
Okay.
and work around that. And I have like 6 to-do lists, believe it or not. And so they're all like prioritized between active deals, coming deals, things I need to deal with today, people I need to
Okay.
call back. It's maybe not the most efficient way to do it, but I have to kind of compartmentalize, and then I have help on the transactional part. So
Okay.
I just try to deal with what I have to do, what only I can do in the team, and then whatever else I can delegate, that's what I try to do.
All right. What books do you read? Do you read any books?
Yeah, I like motivational books. I like business books.
Okay.
I mostly listen on audio.
Okay.
So because I'm driving around
Right.
all the time,
Mhm.
so I like to listen to things that are inspirational, that are motivational, that are business related, because I feel like you can pull that into your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to watch or listen to podcast type stuff too.
Okay.
Same type stuff. I feel like if I need a jolt of motivation to do, like, social or whatever, I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk because you can never do enough, according to Gary. When I feel like I need to focus on my business, I stop listening to Gary because I have to focus on my business. But I feel like you got to listen to people that are doing like what you want to do, and maybe it's sales related.
Right.
Maybe it's just mindset. The first book I read when I got my license, at the behest of my boss, was go read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Old book, but it's all about mindset. It's about picturing who you want to be. It's about setting a list of definite purpose elements. Like, I'm going to do this, and here's what I'm going to do, and here's how I'm going to do it. And you're like imparting that into your, ethos every day, saying it aloud. I mean, I did what he says to do, and it feels weird at the beginning, but what's interesting is I have seen that stuff play out. Surprisingly so.
Right.
Part of what I think happens is it convinces you I just have to stay on the path. I just have to stay moving toward that target and take advantage of opportunities.
Right.
And some of it you're not going to know how to get there. That's the thing about the book.
Right.
He's very clear that you may not have the entire plan formulated. You may only have a couple things, or this is where I want to get to, or I want to do this kind of business, or I want to be in this place, or whatever. But what it does is it gets you on that path and looking for opportunities that continue to open those doors. So if you've never read that book, it's a really interesting read, or you can listen to it on audio. It's not a long book, but there are things in there. And one of the early stories in the book is he talks about a guy that was, it's during the kind of captains of industry time. He, through a relationship with Andrew Carnegie, he had an opportunity to interview a lot of people that had changed the dynamics of the early 20th century. And so speaking with people like Edison and that sort of thing. And there was a guy that was determined to go into business with Thomas Edison. It's one of the first stories he tells, and he basically rode on top of a train to New Jersey and took a job sweeping floors, and he was just around him, waiting for his opportunity. And then something came up and nobody else wanted to do it, and he's like, I'll do it. And it opened that door. And I feel like that's what, as a new agent, you need to hear. Don't go try to figure it out. Just go get around the people that are doing what you want to do.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things I took out of the book. It's early in the book. And I was like, okay, I get it. I'm 37 years old. I finally understand. The secret to life is just getting around people that are doing what you want to do.
Right.
And just drafting off of opportunity that they can't take advantage of.
True.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, I've got people that call me, or people ask me to do things that I can't immediately get to it, and I have my team do it or whatever. But I don't immediately always get to the opportunities that are there. And sometimes it's like, okay, this is why I have help. But there's probably an agent out there that maybe needs one more team member because there's stuff that's not getting capitalized on.
Right.
And that's that whole thing. The dude was sweeping floors, just waiting for his opportunity, and then there it was, and he jumped on it. And in the early stages of the 20th century, dude became a millionaire. When that was big money,
crazy,
right? So that's one of the things that you've got to get your head right first.
Right.
And it sounds like you already do, but you got to get your head right, and those are the kind of things I like to listen to and read because I feel like it motivates me to keep pushing forward, right?
Right. Yep. Good.
Because I don't feel like I've arrived, right? I don't feel like I'm where I want to be. I feel like I'm still like just getting out of the gate, right?
Yeah, that's what you gotta keep deep down.
Oh man, it's like it's hunger and drive and motivation because it's like, man, I want to do so much more. I want to get to the next level and the next level and expand and move into areas that I don't currently operate in. I just closed my first big commercial deal, which I had never done before.
Okay.
And that's opened up a whole new segment of business. And so I'm like, I'm still on that same journey of like, okay, I got these things that are like coming that I want to get to, and you're just trying to push forward and do more every year,
Right. Do you have any goals set for the next 3 months?
It's not really goal related. It's more like I've got a bunch of stuff in the mix that I'm working on that I'm really excited about that I just have to keep grinding away.
All right.
Things that are in process for next year.
What's the best career decision you've ever made?
This.
This?
Yeah. I got out of college and thought I wanted to be in the music industry, which is why we came here.
Yeah.
I'd been a musician, and I burned out of that after a few years, and I'm glad we didn't leave. I'm glad I went after this.
Right.
I'm glad I didn't quit. And there was times where I probably should have. Bloss knows this. I had to borrow money several times.
Right.
Just to stay afloat.
Oh, so you guys have been friends for a long time?
No, he's just heard me talk about this before.
Oh, from just talking about, okay.
Yeah, this is like one of those things that's like, it's really still very present to me that's like, man, I was in desperation mode for a long time. Because coming in without a safety net, right?
Right.
It was like sell or, starve, right? And I've got a wife and a kid at the time, and I was kind of up against it in a variety of financial areas, and I was just like, man, I just can't quit. I see it, right?
Right.
Partly because I, like, early in the process, I put that vision in my head. I'm going to do this. I want to be in this industry. I want to do this job.
Right.
I like it. I think I can be good at it. I don't want to quit. I don't want to go back to the safe thing this is what I'm going to make, and
that's where I'm at right now. That's exactly where I'm at.
But you got to be convinced here. You got to see that picture of this is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get around the people that are doing it, so that I see the clear and quick path to get there. Right.
Right.
So I try to read books that kind of mirror that, and people that are like where I want to be.
Right.
People that are doing what I want to do, or people that have like done big deals or whatever. That like kind of psychology type books. People talking about the sales process and that sort of thing.
Okay.
I think that's good. You can't apply all of it, but you try to find those nuggets and those elements.
Okay.
I read this book several years ago that was talking about how to adapt your own innate personality to the personality of others.
Right.
Because, like I'm a D person, so I want to go straight to the chase immediately.
Right, yeah.
Like people come on my door and they want to sell me something.
I'm like, what is it?
I need to know what it is and how much it is.
Exactly.
And, I don't care about the flowery explanation. But some people feel like it's too pushy to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or some people want to know how it affects the family, right? Or some people want you to tell them a joke or see if there's a social scenario where you relate to them. It's like you got to assess those people quickly.
Yeah.
And so, just trying to internalize those kinds of things, I think helps a lot.
Right.
It just helps you be a person that people can relate to and trust. Because all you're trying to do is facilitate.
Right.
You're just trying to help them, You're just trying to be available. You're trying to impart knowledge that you have or your team can give to you, right? So you don't have to have all the answers. I tell people, don't make it up. Don't ever make up the answer ever.
Yeah.
Just say, I need to double check, and I'll get right back with you. And call your team leader, your broker, or your mentor, or whatever, and go, hey, this is what's up.
Right.
And I don't know how to answer this, but I need you to tell me what to say. And they generally can say, okay, it's probably this. Or they'll be like, hey, let me step in.
Right.
Or let's do some research,
Right.
But when you make things up, then it tends to go bad.
Yeah, I come from a sales background. Well, I was a personal trainer, so when I was asked things and I didn't know the answer, the first thing I would say is like, I don't know that. But what I'm going to do is going to go research and come back with you with the right information.
Right.
So instead of lying about it.
Right.
Because I don't know it all, and that's why I tell people I don't know it all.
Right.
But I can find out, and then we can get the correct answer. So.
Yeah.
I've been kind of following some of your guides because I watch your Instagram.
Yeah.
So every once in a while I'll post a story where it's a couple pictures of two houses. I'll say, which one would you rather move to? And I'll just do the thumbs up, thumbs down, or the left, right?
Yeah.
What do you recommend I do? Do I start a whole new Instagram, or do I keep it from what I have? Or
it just depends on how you want to personally handle it. I mean, like, for me, I don't do a lot of personal on Instagram or social media as a rule.
Right.
So it just allows me to focus on it.
Okay.
And then Alex coordinates most all of my posting and stuff.
Okay.
But what I would encourage you to do is just be visible with it.
Right.
Be visible, let people follow the process, because that's what they like. People want the process. And I think if you'll get out there from minute one and go, hey, I'm on the journey, and if you want to see what it's like to move to a new city and jump in, then here's what happens. And just you can document, and I think documenting is the ultimate.
I planned on vlogging.
Yeah.
The process. I've been in the books.
Yeah.
I've been in the books for the last 2 months, and this is literally like my first full week that I haven't been just studying up everything.
For sure.
So I plan on jumping into it.
Yeah, I mean, I would just start with, I just set up my first interview with my first team at a brokerage, and don't feel pressure to join a brokerage until you figure out, who you want to go work with or work for.
Okay.
And that way you're free to just join wherever the team may be or the mentor may be. But I would just document all that. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Because people enjoy process, and what it does is it allows you to have a reference point as you continue to move forward.
Okay. Right. True.
Because I didn't do that either.
Right.
So
I think the problem is a lot of people don't want to show where it's not like always going good.
Yeah.
And so,
but people enjoy watching it.
People love to watch the journey. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Just be authentic about what you're going through and who you meet with, and tag them, and just participate. And what you might find is you're the only one in that team that's really being visible, and you may get a lot more visibility because of the team, because you're the only reference point that's out there, right?
Right. True.
Because I think what we find is a lot of brokers, because I'm not the number one broker in town or anything, a lot of brokers that are busy won't make time for video or media or social because they don't have to, right?
Right.
And like I was talking to somebody 2 days ago, guy that called me after we'd closed a pretty big deal, and we were talking about it, and he's like, dude, how do you have time to shoot that stuff? And I'm like, I don't. I just make time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's harder to make time than others. We've been on basically about 4-week hiatus because I've been slammed with work, right? And the stuff that I have to be attentive to first. But at the same time, it is part of the process. It is part of the brand scenario for you. Is you have to say, okay, I'm going to be visible. Because that's how people interact. That's how people research. That's how people find some continuity or common ground to build with somebody. I think that's where a lot of people are checking out agents before they even call. Right. They want to see what the reference point is. Right. Okay. So, man, I would just go for it.
Okay.
Warts and all, man. Just do it. Hey, I'm showing a client this house, and they're going to be here in 5 minutes. Here's what we're going to look at, and just do the whole thing. Of course. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.